the worldwide leader in sports, self-proclaimed worldwide leader in sports. ESPN pulls out this preseason football power index right here. And it's got it now. For the most part, it's got Alabama leading in these categories in the FPI. Alabama with the highest FPI at 28% of all teams in college football. Bama's got the highest percentage to make the college football playoff in the fall at 76.3. Bama's got the highest percentage to win for national championship at 30.8. Bama's even got the percentage of 51.3 to win the SEC championship. And though those numbers are good, those are not the numbers that we focus on. The number we are focusing on is this right here. For its projected record, for Alabama's projected record, ESPN has Bama at 11-1. Got a loss on here. So, as always, when you bring up other team schedules, they don't cause this type of commotion. They don't cause this type of scare, or this type of conversation, if you will. So, if you bring up Clemson's schedule, no one's really concerned about it because who does Clemson play for real? They don't really play anybody. When you bring up Ohio State's schedule or any other team schedule, there's not a debate. There's not an argument. There's not a lot of talking points. There's not a lot of ratings being generated from these other team schedules. But when Alabama's schedule hits the forefront, here comes the ratings. Here comes the conversation. Here comes the light bill, power bill, water bill, gas bill, utility, mortgage, child's tuition. Here comes all of that being paid because everybody wants to see what does Alabama's schedule look like? Or where is the loss on Alabama's schedule? People want to know. At some point, when is Nick Saban going to fall off the wagon? When is Nick Saban going to fall off the mountaintop? At some point, he's going to suck, right? At some point, he's got to have just the most putrid year on the face of the planet. So, ESPN's FPI, they got Bama losing one game here. So, I figure this will be fun. Where is the loss here on the regular season schedule? And a lot of people feel like, some people feel like, well, Steven, Miami could be the loss, Steven, because, it's Miami. You're playing them at the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta. I mean, Steven, De'Aaron King, their quarterback, he's dual threat. He's mobile. He's athletic. And history says that Alabama has its most struggle against dual threat quarterbacks defensively. And Steven, this is Bryce Young's first, it'll be Bryce Young's first big game. Hostile crowd, tough environment. Ooh, Bryce ain't got that experience even. Ooh, scary for Bryce. Ooh, Miami gonna give it to him. Here's my counterbalance to that thought. Nick, what goes better than peanut butter and jelly? What goes better than s'mores in a fire in terms of cooking up them s'mores, right? Nick Saban and season opening games, people. Nick Saban does not lose marquee season opening games. Ever since 2008, where Alabama started the season off against Clemson, the Tide does not lose marquee season opening games. I don't know what it is, but in those matchups, Saban has got those guys the most dialed in, the most prepared, the most ready. They got the script down, they got the plays down, they got the strategy down, and they're going out there playing football. So, and then even with the whole De'Aaron King thing, we don't know how good he's going to be as he's coming back from, a serious knee injury. Is he going to be the same explosive guy? We don't know. So that's Miami. Then you look at Florida. People go, well, Steve, Dan Mullen in Florida. You go to the swamp, the big bad swamp, Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. I mean, Dan Mullen, offensive mind. They got that dual threat quarterback, Stephen Emory Jones. Woo! Week 3. This could be the one where Big Bama goes down. Florida lost Kyle Trask, Kyle Pitts, Kadarius Toney, Trayvon Grimes. Calm down. We don't know what Emory Jones is. Talented quarterback, but we don't know what he is. Dan Mullen, people like to pump up Dan Mullen, but But every time you try to pump Dan Mullen up, does he answer the bell? More times than not, he has not answered the bell. And so, Florida's got question marks. You're replacing all of his talent on the offensive side of the football. Then people go, but Steven, October 2nd, though, Ole Miss, Lane Kiffin comes to Tuscaloosa. Lane Kiffin, the Lane train comes in. People, there's one thing Nick Saban is not trying to do. He ain't about to lose to Lane Kiffin, all right? I know folks say, but he lost to Hugh Freeze. Losing to Hugh Freeze is different than losing to Lane Kiffin. Losing to Lane Kiffin, who's already trying to troll Nick Saban on Twitter, Kiffin's not going to live that down. But at the same time, Saban ain't going to lose to Kiffin. And not in Tuscaloosa. Not at Bryant-Denny. Saban ain't going to lose to Kiffin. But you got folks that go, well, October 9th, Stephen, Texas A&M. It's Jimbo time. It's Jimbo time. They go to Big College Station. People have been saying it's Jimbo time for the last 5 years. I mean, Jimbo Fisher, can you get the quarterback? That's the thing with Jimbo. I mean, we have looked at Jimbo Fisher as this great offensive mind, but when is it finally going to happen? Is he really this great offensive mind, or have we just been propping him up on stilts the last years he's been at A&M? Like, when is it finally going to happen for Jimbo? Like, you don't have Kellen Mond anymore. Do you have the quarterback? Does Jimbo Fisher have the quarterback? Does he have the guy that can actually scare people in the SEC? And in college football, that's the thing with Jimbo. And, of course, you always got folks saying, but Stephen, LSU. What about LSU? What about LSU? I mean, you got Miles Brennan, but, what has he done? I mean, you got Max Johnson, and, Max did some good things down the stretch, but he didn't beat Alabama in the 2020 season. And you got LSU trying to make sure that the NCAA isn't trying to investigate all the chaos going on down there in Baton Rouge right now. So LSU has its own problems to work with. Then you got folks saying, but Stephen, you go down to Jordan-Hare. You go down to Big Bad Auburn and Jordan-Hare. Yes, Alabama does go down to Jordan-Hare. It does go down to Auburn, but Auburn, brand new coach, Brian Harsin from Boise State, brand new they have brand new system in here. Lost wide receivers, lost Seth Williams, lost Anthony Schwartz. So what is Auburn working with? Just like people look at Bama with question marks, all of these teams, people have question marks coming into the upcoming season. So where's the loss here? There could be a loss here, but where is it? Because right now, as I'm looking at the schedule, and I know it's hard to repeat as national champions. I get it. And I know it's hard to repeat as undefeated national champions. I absolutely get it. I mean, it's tough. It's rigid. It's difficult. But just looking at the schedule here, like, where is the loss on the schedule? Because every last one of these teams, they have questions. Miami's got questions. Florida's got questions. Ole Miss has got questions. A&M, can it hit the quarterback? Finally hit on the quarterback. Tennessee's got questions. LSU's got questions. Auburn's got questions. This entire schedule, these opposing teams have got questions. But it's always fun when, ESPN does this. They put out these power rankings every year, and they try to see at what point, where does Nick Saban fall? Where does he take a backseat? Where does the dynasty end? Where do we finally get a slip, a stumble, a fall from Coach Saban? But as we look at this schedule right here, I still see Bama on the table and going all the way and potentially repeating here as champions.